5, 4, 3, 2,
Okay.
1.
Hey!
Welcome back.
No, you were just supposed to edit it and put it before.
Wow.
Don't make my job harder than it is. All right, fuckheads.
Here we are, a week before Halloween.
What are you going to dress up as?
I was going to be a bottle of Sriracha.
Sriracha?
Sriracha.
That's fucking hilarious. Really? A bottle of Sriracha?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Well, it's paying homage to you and your
My people.
your heritage. Yes. Yeah.
What? You got a
cultural
costume?
appropriation.
Well, I was gonna be a big muscular guy as homage to Mike, but then I realized that was no good. So I don't know.
So Al's
I
going to
was
do it
thinking
instead.
something stupid like a big ass pickle or something. I don't
pickle?
know. Yeah, like
A fucking pickle?
yeah, I know it sounds dumb, but I mean it is dumb. But you know, I don't worry about what the ladies think like you do. You know,
And Al, you're going to pay homage to me, right?
That's going to be a trans woman. So, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have a costume yet, so I'm thinking, I don't know.
you're just gonna go bare chested the whole show,
Something
like you did that one time.
Might just take my shirt off.
Ooh.
No.
You know how many-
Someone's got to bring the whiskey.
You know how many subscribers we'll have by the end of that show?
2. We actually got another one. We're at
whiskey
53
whiskey
now.
makes his clothes fall off. We've had that experience already.
Yeah.
So
You got any whiskey here?
what happens is you give him some whiskey to where he's got a good buzz going, and then you start telling him that Hawaiian pizza came from Hawaii, and then the shirt will come right off.
Fight everybody. I'll fight all of you.
I had a friend like that in high school. His name was, I don't know if I should say it on here because of one of our 50 some subscribers. His name was Ricky Reed. Anyway, he had to be roid because in high school he was massive. Like massive. Like every time we go somewhere, it didn't matter if it was a mall, something. It seemed like he was always about to get into a fight, and he would always take his shirt off everywhere we went. When we what and he would just be like, I mean, he had the body for it, but every time he always wore this big like heavy jacket, even in the summer. But every time we go somewhere, he'd start like he was going to get into a fight, and that shit would come all the way off every time. I think it was roid rage. There was no way he wasn't taking something. I mean, for
And
me,
you had your buddy Randy there. He'd be like, "That's it, Ricky. The pants are coming off."
yeah.
That's where the Trailer Park Boys got that from. I got it now.
Yeah, he was a funny dude. Every time that shirt came off, what? Be all up in their face like, what the hell is going on?
Never throw a punch.
I've heard stories, but I never saw him. People were often intimidated by this guy because he was a pretty big dude. He was a pretty big dude.
Now he's bald and drunk at noon on
I
a
haven't talked
Wednesday
to
at a
him.
bar stool, freaking telling stories about the good old days.
I haven't talked to him in probably 25 years.
Maybe that was his plan. Just show everyone how fucking
Crazy he is.
buff he was, and that, people just back off.
Then he was just like, yeah.
He looked like Debo pounding his chest up and down. He was like, what?
Yeah, oh, he had a lazy eye too.
No, but he did
Oh.
kind of look like Debo, actually.
It's my bike, punk.
Yeah, he kind of looked like him a little bit. He was shorter, obviously, but yeah, he was a big dude.
Did he fight Hulk Hogan?
No, but he.
Oh.
So I have another friend, Mike, Ricky was maybe an inch taller than I was. My other friend, Mike, is like 6'4". He was always teetering around 270, 280. He's a big white boy. And those guys were like best friends for a long time. I remember we were driving around town looking for something to do. They might have been. These dudes
Same as
start, I'm driving. These guys start arguing. Well, fuck you, Ricky. Fuck you. And they start arguing, and they're like, pull the car over. So they get out of the car.
Start making
And
up.
we're at these apartments over.
Start making.
Sorry.
They get off somewhere off Pikes Peak and Academy, somewhere in that area. There's apartments over there. And I just remember there was a fucking washing machine sitting there next to the trash.
Well,
Ricky
yeah.
was so pissed he just picked it up over his head and threw it in the trash. Because they were like best friends. He didn't want to fight him, but they were like, come on, like, come on. And they were, I was like, let's just fucking go.
Yeah. So on Netflix, there was that documentary on the American Gladiators. Remember that show?
Yeah, I haven't watched that. Is that good?
Well, you watched Skin Deep or whatever the hell the name of that show was. So, you know, I mean, Zap was in that or whatever her name was. So, an American Gladiator. She was the buff chick in that.
Oh, was she? I guess I don't remember.
Well, anyway. So, I don't know. It's like Nitro and somebody else. They're all roided up and everything. And, yeah, they were arguing in the car. They pulled over and then freaking just had it out there on the side of the road. And then they just went bar hopping after that.
Well, that's what we did. They
all
didn't
beat
actually
up.
fight, but they were about to. They were like, fuck you, fuck you. They were both big dudes. So they were like, I don't think they really wanted to do it. But they were just fucking doing. I just remember he threw that washing machine in the dumpster, and then next thing I know, they're getting back in the car and like still like, "Fuck you, man, fuck you." Like they were
I used to see it. Yeah, all
too good of friends.
the people I know that all freaking roided out. Yeah, you see them all doing shit like that,
Mood swinging.
and they're big fuckers, man.
Yeah, he was a teenager. He was a big fucking dude. He was a big dude.
Fucked his whole body up.
He might have. Like I said, I haven't even heard his name in 20 some years. So
Been to your reunion?
probably
or what?
he didn't go to high school with me. I hung out with a bunch of guys from
Oh, he
different
dropped
school.
out?
I didn't hang out with guys from my school. Usually, I had a good friend that went to a different school, and that's kind of the crew that we hung out with. So, school reunions
The
and stuff.
alternative school.
It is now, actually.
It's where the bad kids go.
Yeah, it was
and
the
all-
bad kids' school.
All the pregnant girls and everything. Because they can nurse in class.
I think they can do that anyway now, right?
I think it's normal now. Yeah.
A man can.
Yeah.
I remember, totally off topic, but speaking of that,
Depends on how you
when I
identify.
was in 6th grade, I remember one of the girls in my class was pregnant by a GI. I remember that shit
In 6th grade?
in 6th grade.
Holy shit. Well, that guy I'm sure had hell to pay. Because that's not cool.
Child
You
support
get
was
your-
cheaper back then.
I understand, but if the parents really wanted to frickin' take him, I mean,
I-
he'd get in trouble
yeah.
with his unit, his commander, everything.
I mean, that's like 12 years old, 13, whatever that is
Yeah.
at that age. That's
Yeah.
friggin'.
I know a girl. When I had hair, she used to do my hair, but she got pregnant when she was like that age, 12 or something. And they were still together. The boyfriend was probably like 18 or 19 at the time.
Damn.
But yeah,
So guys were getting busted. I mean, that I was stationed with, but it was all with girls that were like 17 that were lying about their age. And because when they do their makeup up and everything, they're like, yeah, they're probably like 20, 21, something like that. And that's why when I met Tanya, I was like, no.
To be
Hot chicks are underage here. I want to see your ID.
to be
I carded
fair,
her ass.
to be fair,
She was 18.
300 years prior, girls were married off at 12 or 13. So to be fair,
No, not to be fair. Yeah, men were also going to war at 14 years old.
yeah, we hunted mammoths back
you're
then.
you're
Okay.
you're a father, and you're like, hey, I need a couple of cattle to feed the rest of the family, and
Yeah,
you're just like,
you had to get your seed into the next gene pool before you went off to frickin' war at 14 years old too. So shit like that happened, I'm sure.
is that how you got Tanya? Told her I'm shipping out tomorrow.
Yep, exactly.
This might be my last time.
No, she freaking chased me down, dude. It was not the other way around.
Oh, the regret.
I was in the wait the 3-day phase when she showed up at my freaking door the next day. She was there. Because
She gave you the my biological clock is
I
ticking
got back
speech.
from work. No,
She's like, I'm 19, Mike. My biological clock
so-
is ticking over here.
she doesn't have a thyroid, or her thyroid's dead, right? And it has been since she was like 12 or 14 years old. So the doctor always put in her mind, like, well, you're probably not going to be able to get pregnant. Boy, did we prove that one wrong. So it's like 6 weeks into dating. Surprise, I'm pregnant.
I thought you were a religious man, Mike.
I wasn't then. And I'm not religious either.
I thought you were a man of God.
I wasn't then. Well, sure wasn't then. Nor was she. So, a
Clearly.
woman of God. Yeah.
Clearly.
So if you're really if you're really religious and you're in high school dating a woman and a woman, I mean, her legs are open, would you say, no, this is wrong? Or now you're 16, 17.
As a testosterone-filled young man,
It's a girlfriend. She's good looking. She's inviting. Her legs are. Or would you just? I think that.
I think your hormones will take over.
yeah, at that
more
age,
than anything.
at that
because,
age,
yeah, you're young, dumb, full of cum. You're like, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll pull out. Dude, that doesn't work.
We go to church tomorrow.
Yeah.
We go to confession.
Dude, it's
It'll be
hard to
good.
resist when you're freaking pumping all that testosterone through your body. So, until you really realize the power of the female anatomy in the sense of, maturity is, no, that will get me in trouble. That will destroy my life right there. And you can turn and walk away. But that usually is once you know better, your testosterone's a little less. Be like, no, I'm not doing
here's
that.
what it is. It's hard to give a fake name when you go to the same high school.
Yeah, especially during roll call, right? So, anyway,
Well,
I had a guy who was a guy
you slept with a guy?
No, I was friends with this dude, and he's probably about 5-6 years older than me. But when I worked at my old company, I'm like, damn, dude, your freaking son is old. Like, how old were you when you got this woman pregnant? He's like 15. So he was 15. She was like 20. And it was him and some of her friends and maybe this girl.
Was this Greg?
No. This woman had a thing to maybe break the virtue of young guys or whatever, but like two of his friends hit it they were in a creek or something. And then he was the third one to go, and he was the only one that let it all go inside. So.
Or believed her?
No.
He might have been the only one that believed her.
They did DNA testing. Anyway, she was some slut.
That is a thing because, when I was in my 20s, I don't want to go say I did it too far in my 20s, like early 20s, late teens. I used to tell girls that I had never. Because there was some intrigue there with it. There was more than once. I was like, no, I still haven't. And it was like,
I better get this guy.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I can use that anymore.
I've seen the
I
opposite.
still use it. That's how. Tanya.
Where do babies come from?
They're mothers.
I know girls that were the opposite. Like
they're birthing.
They're like, they want to hook up with my friend, right? And then they go on a date or whatever, and then nothing happens. And they say, like, the girl's like, is he a virgin? I'm like, yeah, I think so. It's like, no wonder. And then it was done.
He wouldn't make a move. Yeah.
It was done. Yeah.
He didn't have the balls to make the move.
Like, yeah.
Nowadays, I understand if a kid doesn't have the balls to make a move because shit, you don't know what will come of that. Be like, he raped me. Be like, no. This is too much risk these days.
Or she has a penis.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's getting into. Like, I don't know. Her voice is a little deeper than chick's voice should be. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, she had a huge clit. I used that before.
You were licking on it?
God.
Said her taint was swollen. They look like nuts.
She kept her purse inside of her pants. It's like a little change purse down there.
Well, so anyway, what was the other thing? Shit, there was something else that I had in mind about 2 minutes ago, but
Sure.
I
escapes me.
got a question.
Okay.
Embarrassing sex moment. You ever have any?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. What the fuck?
You wanna
Who
get into
cares?
it?
Who cares? It's not really that embarrassing because I'll let Mike go first.
I was like 16 and I was broke up with my girlfriend and I started dating this girl. My girlfriend, by the way, wasn't anybody I had had sex with. I hadn't had sex yet, right? So we'd kiss and hold hands and, do all the heavy petting, but that was about it. So anyway, I dated this other girl who was 18 who broke up with her like 22-year-old boyfriend. So she was experienced. Anyway, we're on a date in the back of her Ford Escort and she's on top of me and the rubber comes out and I'm like, all right, freaking time for the show. This is going to happen, right? And I'm freaking trying to roll this motherfucker on and I just can't roll it on. And I'm like, what is going on? And now my nervousness catches up to my wiener and that starts going soft. And I'm like, this sucks. This girl's all hot and bothered, ready to go. And I am not because I'm trying to roll the rubber on upside down. Again, inexperience gets the best of you. And it was like, damn it. So, because then by the time we figured all that shit out and I got a bone, I was just still have this embarrassing moment replaying in my head. And I'm like, come on, you dick, get hard again.
It's showtime.
And
Let's go.
He was like, no, you had your chance. So because I wasn't suave in that moment, it totally ruined it.
It didn't happen.
Got under my skin. Oh, it absolutely did happen.
Once you got home.
Huh?
After you dropped her off.
Yeah. So, yeah, we dated for, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then she went back to her boyfriend. I was just this little rebound, young.
Couldn't get the rubber on.
Probably the whole thing going like, this guy's a virgin and I can tell and I'm going to break him. And it didn't happen. And
she ripped your hymen right off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like, damn.
Mine's worse. So my story, this has probably happened to all of us at some point. So I think I was, I don't know, I might have been 8. Actually, I think I was 18 and met this girl at a 7-Eleven down near that same apartment building.
South Nevada?
No, it was on South Academy. There's a Home Depot across the street and blah, blah, blah. So we were calling back and forth. This is before cell phones.
How do you meet just walking down the street? I don't understand that.
I pulled into 7-Eleven. It was at night. She was in the car next to me, and I got her phone number.
Okay.
Those places get busy, especially on a weekend.
Yeah, it was a weekend night, and people were going in and out to get shit. And
certain parts of town, it gets
and people
busy.
were hanging out front there, and I went in. I can't remember what I probably get something to drink or some gum or something, and she was there, and I was just like, back then I didn't care. Anybody walking by in the grocery store, if I thought they were cute, I'd just be like, hey, can you stop for a second? And I'd try to get their number. Well, I got her number. So anyway, I go to her places a few weeks later, and we end up upstairs, and we're all getting hot and heavy. And I put it in, and I swear to God, it was immediate. Like I was done. But, being young and inexperienced, I'm thinking, okay, she doesn't know. She won't know. She will. But I'm like, oh, this isn't right. I don't, maybe now's not a good time. We just met each other, blah, blah, blah. So I'm talking all this. This girl proceeds to get on the phone, calls up some other dude she's messing with, tells him, you going to come over? This motherfucker isn't doing shit for me. He's not trying to help me out.
Yeah.
I need dick.
I got her all ready for you, buddy. High five on the way out the door.
She was a black girl, so she was totally in that attitude, like, oh, this motherfucker ain't doing shit for me. He ain't over here we're all in you. So if you want, you can come over in a little bit and we'll blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, fuck. So anyway, we hung out after that and stuff, but needless to say, I left shortly after that. We talked for a little bit, and I was like, I gotta go. But anyway, so same girl, kind of embarrassing, not too embarrassing, but just caught me off guard. I'm at a club with my buddy, His name was Curtis, not the same Curtis.
Not
She's with like this 6'5" basketball player. Like, this is the motherfucker I was telling you
No,
about.
thank God, no. Thank God. I would have told her what really happened. I was like, I was done. But no. I was sitting there, and this girl that I had been messing around with a little bit off and on comes up and sits next to me and hangs out with me, and I'm like, we're just chatting a little bit. Well, that girl comes over and sits down next to her, and they proceed to tell me they're sisters. The total opposite. And I'm like just sitting in this chair, like, because I was kind of talking to both of them, and they don't really talk a whole bunch, I guess. And they somehow, when they were there, they saw me and they started talking. So they both made a plan to come over one at a time and fucking sit down next to me. And I was like, how do you guys know? Oh, we're sisters. They looked completely opposite. They like had the total opposite look about them. But I was just sitting there and I was just caught off guard.
Oh, so they weren't sisters. They were sisters.
No, they were real sisters. They were legit sisters, but they were very different in the way they, their mannerisms, who they were.
They wanted to fuck with you.
Yeah, they were. I guess they had seen me. They were there hanging out, which they didn't, because the one was a lot older. The one the first story I told you was, I think, like 30 or 31 years old. And the other one was like 21, 22. So it's not like they had, friends in common. But they occasionally hung out, I guess. And so I'm sitting in this club, and so I'm chatting, we're having a drink. And then the other one, a few minutes later, comes up and sits down, and they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, how you doing?
Hey, hi.
Did you figure it out yet?
Yeah, well, I was like, oh, how do you guys know each other? And they were like, oh, we're sisters. Oh, that's nice. So, yeah, that was a little bit. But that first story, man, I remember that. The first thing that came to my head was, yeah, I don't feel like this is right. I'm trying to play it off like I was trying to be a good guy. Has that ever happened to either one of you?
What? Just put it in and then be done?
And then try to play it off?
Wiggle? No.
I would have to say no. Well, the beginning was I was capped off, so you can't feel shit in those things.
I mean, that's the one thing I tell my oldest son, and now my youngest son as he's gotten older. The benefits of wearing a condom isn't just, it's not just to stop them getting pregnant. Like, it literally takes feeling away. You, at your age especially, where you're just hormones and everything feels better. At that age, everything feels better because it's more sense. I mean, everything. Yeah. It's like, wear it so you'll last longer.
Yeah, the reason you wear a condom is so that it feels better when you take it off. So
mid stroke.
How many times does that happen? It's
like,
all right, we're going to be safe about it. And then you just go, fuck it. And
you're like, fuck
start going again. And both of you are like, that feels so much better. It's like, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If you're full of hormones and everything and you want to last longer.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
I think I lost it. I mean, I don't think it was that quick. I mean, I don't think I had a situation where I just
oh man, it was terrible. I think she had me going, or whatever the case was, but
it could have been.
It was like within a few like, fuck.
Was she on top?
Actually, no. It was just like that, just like, nice to meet you. Then that was over. Like,
let me say this: I've never had that happen to where it ended in an embarrassing moment.
I didn't know probably the worst part of it. I didn't know what to say, so I went into this good guy routine, like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be doing this yet. I'm not." And then for her to get on the phone, I'm just standing there like, I felt like a loser. Like,
well, but I do remember like being younger, and then the work up to the actual deed, all the work the woman puts in. You're just like, oh my God. Dude,
yeah, there was.
We are not even going to make it there. She's going to.
Because we started downstairs and we went upstairs and we were just, in
but
the room.
I'm just saying, when she's trying to warm you up, you're like, you got to understand my age. You don't have to warm me up. And so.
Like, yeah, I was ready before I got here.
All the foreplay, let's say.
I was ready yesterday.
Yeah, Al's the only one I know that wears a condom all the time just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, that it wouldn't have been so bad if she didn't make that phone call, I think, but I was like, I didn't even know what to say after that. I was like,
Hey,
I'll see you next time.
I was like in my head, I'm like, do I defend myself? Like, what do I do here?
should have just left.
Well, I was just weird. She hung
later,
up
I
the
got
phone,
mine.
and I was like,
Yeah.
I think I was the same story. Honestly,
I
It was
forgot.
just-
I got to be somewhere. Sorry.
I gotta go wash my hair.
I mean, my thing is, she had to know because it had to be messy.
Yeah, she had to have known.
Yeah.
She can't be like,
Unless
look
she still
down
had
and
the
be like,
mess in there from the last guy before she called me. I don't know, but
I did all this. Well, it could be.
Yeah, and you go in fucking hot and heavy, and all of a sudden just stop. I mean, it's like no.
Two pumps and a wiggle. So that has happened to me, but not with, like, say, somebody I didn't know that was, and then it ended in an embarrassing moment.
yeah, it would have been better if it was someone that we had, been in that situation before, and then it was like, oh damn. And then you could say what you always say, like, girl, your stuff is so good. That's why it's your fault. But
Yeah.
I got some stamina, I would have to say.
Yeah, I do now too, man. I got to beat it around. I got to freaking take the billy club out.
yeah, it definitely takes longer now. I think some of that is
Takes a
getting
while to
older.
get warming up. It's like, yeah, it's just, damn, takes a while. Like,
You got to find the right video.
I'm not 3 to 5 minutes in anymore.
It's like I saw that one. I saw that one. Saw that. No, need something new.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, just that phone call was what made it so.
that's when you switch to the gay porn. No, that, like I said, it's happened before, but not in that kind of.
What is your
situation.
embarrassing story, Al?
Yeah. What was his name?
So me and Tyler,
Was he wearing a pickle costume?
yeah, that's what got my attention. Well, it's just basically got caught. So
Oh, that sucks because you don't get to finish.
my girlfriend's friend, parents were out of town. They went to Vegas. Everybody in Hawaii, they go to Vegas. So the parents are away for the weekend party at the house. We go there, then, me and this is like high school time, and me and my girlfriend start, getting frisky, and she tells a friend we want to use her room. So we go into a room, and then we're going at it. And then we're fucking doggy style on her bed. Fucking door flies open, light comes on. Was another one of our friend was going to go in there and throw her bag, her bag and shit in the room. Like, no, yeah, we didn't lock the fucking door. So we're going, fucking doggy. And then when the door flies open, she turns her back towards the door, and I'm on her, and I fucking fall on the floor. I'm on the floor, and I'm like facing the fucking door. And then her friend, yeah, she's like oh my God, she just starts cracking up, and she fucking closes the door. Shuts the light, closes the door.
So you were able to finish.
Then, yeah, and we locked the door. Yeah, my girlfriend, she was yelling at her friend. She's like, turn the light off. And anyway, then, yeah, we got back to it. But that had to be my embarrassing
You were shutting
story.
the lights off even back then?
Yeah, well, I mean, who wants to look
I
at,
still don't shut the lights off.
That reminds me of the very first time I had sex too. We were at a buddy's apartment, and we were hanging out. And the girlfriend I had at the time, we had been talking for a little bit, but we hadn't obviously done anything yet. So she goes, because I have no real game at this point. I don't know what to do. And then, your friends all know you had or hadn't, right? You guys talk about that stuff. So she goes and asks them, these are my friends, can we use your room? So she hooked up the room. We go in there, and then I'm like totally whatever. So she's helped me out and all this stuff. And then as soon as I leave the room, everyone's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, goddamn, you guys.
It's like that scene in Up in Smoke. I didn't know your name was Alex, man.
I got a cramp.
I got a cramp. them off.
There was another. This isn't me, but another. This is a short story, but funny for me anyway, because my memory of it. We were at a friend's. I was with my friend Shane, and we were at some girl's house visiting these girls, and so I was about ready to leave. I was about ready to leave the girl that I was kind of hanging out with, and it was Shane. We were waiting for Shane, and we walk over to the door thinking they're done doing what they're doing. Well, you can see into the room, and all I see is his ass up in the air, like what you were just describing, and all I hear is. We're like looking in, and while he's doggy style, he just the biggest fart ever. Like what the fuck? And we're all in the living room laughing, just like, ah. But. God. Yeah, good times. Good times.
Yeah,
those are good memories.
Gone. Yeah, they're gone now. Whatever.
No, I'm just embarrassed.
If you're Al's girlfriend from back then, comment below.
See, now looking back, you can go, well, yeah, that was embarrassing at the time, but everyone's got an embarrassing story. Everybody does. Put yours in the comments below.
Greg.
Everyone's got an embarrassing story. So it's just it happens less when you're an adult. You're just kind of like, whatever, shit happens. There's plenty of other people with vaginas on this planet.
But you probably don't put yourself in as many positions like that. Being married or whatever, you're not putting yourselves in those positions as much. Two, it doesn't drive every decision I make. Sex doesn't, like it did when I was 17,
Yeah, when you're
18.
young, yeah.
Everything was like, is there going to be girls there?
Yeah.
No? Okay, I'm not going.
It's top of the list.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty
not
much.
into the sausage party. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Or if you were somewhere, you'd be like, hey, you guys want to go out? Where's some girls? Where you think some girls are at? Go hang out where they're at or whatever.
That's like the night I met Tanya. It was like a bunch of my friends. Well, him and his wife were out of town, said, yeah, use the house. Just make sure you clean it up when you're done. You guys can have a party or whatever. And I thought it was just going to be a bunch of us guys drinking. So I was like, nah, I ain't going out. And then one of my friends who called me up was just like, no, Bryn's bringing a bunch of her friends. And yeah, there were girls at the party. So I was like, all right, cool. So, but yeah, that was kind of the deal breaker then. Like, are there going to be chicks there? Then I'll show. If it's just going to be you guys, dude, I'm going to go home and go to sleep because I just got off work. So,
but that's what it was. I mean, you'd always have, if you were or your friends were talking to a particular girl, it was always like, hey, we're going to be over. You can come over, but make sure you bring some of your friends.
Yeah.
It was always like an invitation out to.
No, Tanya didn't even know Bryn very well. Josh, my buddy Josh, was dating Bryn, and she didn't even know Bryn. It was like Tanya was like a friend of a friend. They had already been at a party earlier in town. It was like more of a high school party, and this was on base. So, but yeah, she's like, I hardly even knew Bryn. So it's just Bryn's friend knew Bryn. And Tanya was just hanging with this group of girls.
Yeah, but that's how that works, right?
Yeah.
When you're younger, you're hanging out. Girls, same thing. They wanted to be around where the guys were at. You know, maybe meet. Now that doesn't drive the decisions that I make.
Well, she made a good choice. She got her Prince Charming right here.
Yeah.
Tanya, comment below if this is true.
She rolls her eyes because about every third day or so, I'll sit there and I'll check myself in the mirror and I'll just turn around and look at her and be like, Tanya. She'll be like, what, Mike? I'm like, you are one lucky gal. And she just goes, oh, God. I have to remind her.
Tanya, comment, oh, God, below if Mike is...
I do that to her all the
How
time.
lucky do you feel?
Let me tell you, you are one lucky guy. I think I told her that earlier today, actually. So I was just upstairs getting
You
some
tell her
ice
that
water
she's
for my
one lucky
thermos.
guy?
No, I said you're one lucky gal.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
So anyway, well, then I tell her, well, somebody's got to fluff my ego. So
You fluff your ego.
Exactly.
You're the one.
I'm a self-fluffer. Anyway.
So I have a story, or well, not even a story. It's a question that was going around Reddit, I think, this time last year. So I want to ask you guys, and answer however you want, because that was the point of the question.
6.
Okay, that's enough. And the question is, and just answer whatever you want. This is kind of a plain question, but here it goes. What would you do if your girlfriend was a worm? And then I have a funny response that I screenshot and put on here, but you know,
I don't understand the question, I guess.
So if you're,
she like
would you
sleeps
still
around?
love her? Would you still, you know, how would you treat her?
That's my first thing. Is this like a new term that the
No,
kids
like
are
an
using?
actual worm, like a worm, like an actual, like a.
If I knew her as a human and she turned into a worm,
she's a night crawler?
it was like, I'm like, what a beautiful worm you
Like
are.
I can use her to catch fish?
Greg is right.
Is that what you mean?
No, just if she was a worm.
Like I could put her on a hook and catch some trout?
If that's what you want to do with her.
For a worm?
Yeah, that kind of worm.
Like,
Would you do with her?
hey, honey, let's get
I
dinner.
wouldn't, because you pull her out of the water, she'd be all soggy because there's no fish in the water. You know, they're not eating. And you got to like stab her again.
She was an actual worm. I thought that was like she was a whore. Isn't there a term? He's worm.
No, I'm not going there with that. The question is a basic, like if your girlfriend, wife, whatever was an actual worm.
Okay. As long as she has a vagina that I can stick my dick into.
Oh, you can always
That would be
make it
about the
fit.
right size too, wouldn't it? She'd shit all over it.
I mean, I don't know where to go with this.
I don't either.
I can't.
That's the point of the question. It's just kind of like to catch you off guard. What would you do? Even funny response, not an actual. I know you're sitting here going, "What if she was an actual worm?"
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
Well, it is, but
Yeah.
It is, but it isn't. Just make up
just
your
whatever.
mind.
I'm looking for. This is Greg. You're right. This podcast is boring. These guys are the most.
All right. I'm not creative. Okay.
Most
yes, I get it.
worstest.
What is the funny response you
I'll
want to
say,
read?
I'll go,
So I'll
honey, let's go get dinner. And I put her on the end of a hook, throw her in the lake, and go get dinner.
So this is the response that one of the guys wrote, and you guys can comment on this. Okay, so my girlfriend has asked me this multiple times. What would I do if she was a worm? I told her I would treat her right and blah, 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 but she doesn't know my true intentions. Personally, if my girl was a worm, I'd wrap her around my penis. And you know how worms got that natural, like, lubrication? I would just start stroking with her. You know what I'm saying. The worm mussy. Shloop, shloop. You know, it'd be like shloop, shloop, shloop. I would just bust everywhere because I feel like that's what she would want me to do. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. I wish I had more worms in my backyard.
Because they got like that natural lubrication.
Yeah,
I'm going to go get some fish and bait
some night
tomorrow.
crawlers.
Some really, good night crawlers. Those real fat ones.
Oh yeah, with the big titties.
And go shloop, shloop,
And go
shloop.
shloop, shloop, shloop. What the fuck, Justin?
Why do you bring this shit to the podcast?
Is that supposed to bring?
I'm trying to be more creative,
Creative.
For Greg.
Well, then be creative. You haven't given us anything yet,
that was
have you?
Yeah, I brought the story to the table, Mike.
No, but you didn't tell us what you would do if your girl was a worm.
okay.
I'd fucking break up with her.
Why'd you start dating her in the first place? Huh? You guys matched?
It was a blind date.
You guys matched on fucking Tinder?
She was in Ukraine, and I started dating her. She was sending me fake pictures, and then when we met, she was an actual worm.
Okay, so what if, to put a little spin, but she's a real woman, and you fall in love with her, everything's fucking great, and the first time you guys get in bed, she has a dick. But she's a hermaphrodite. She's not a tranny. She actually has women parts, but
And an enlarged
I'd
clit,
struggle.
Yeah,
like a
basically.
baby dick.
Yeah,
I'd
but,
struggle.
and it's bigger than yours. On top of that,
I would struggle with that.
I
It's
would
kind of
totally
a deal
struggle.
breaker because here's the thing: there's a level of betrayal there. You did not let me in on this at the beginning of the relationship.
I think that's
you
an
made
important
me
piece
fall
of the
for it.
information.
It's an important piece of information up front if you have an abnormality. Like, let's say I had a baby dick and no vagina. The rest of me is like, I'm all muscle bound, acting like I'm top shit. And I don't tell her that. And I make her, engage enough to where she falls in love with me.
You just
Don't you
described your
think-
relationship, Mike.
Don't you think that's a level of deception?
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, so what if it came to the point where it was getting serious, and then you guys were, waiting to have sex for a while, and then it was brought up, and then she's like, I have and she's,
The problem is I probably would think she was joking.
it was brought up, but you guys are madly in love, and it was brought up,
Oh man, I'd struggle. I'd probably go, let me see real quick.
and it's like, it's like bigger
Oh,
than
I
yours.
couldn't do it.
And you go, does it get hard? No, it just hangs there all the time. It's just
It's
so
just
it's
there.
really useless. So we could just have that removed, right?
I guess. I don't know what. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I don't know how that works.
I don't think I could do it.
It's never happened.
I'll
to
tell
me.
you what. You want to know something? I shouldn't even say this out loud.
Okay, say it to yourself.
This is not like a story that's actually happened to me. So
I'm
don't get
sure.
excited.
I'm sure.
No. But I've
One
thought
time
about.
my friend
I've
told
thought
me.
about in my weird mind at one point in my life. I was like, well, what happens if I met a person and it was when I was older and I couldn't have, when your stuff stops working and you guys aren't going to be intimate anyway and you fell. So this might be a twist on that. What if you fell in love with this person and then you found that out, but you were never going to be intimate because you guys are past that age?
It doesn't
in your
work.
lives? Would you be a little more open to it?
I think when people are older, they marry more for companionship than anything else.
But would you be open to it? If you were past that part of your life, you're like, it doesn't do
I could
that.
take it or leave it, and it doesn't work or whatever.
And you just found out this is fucking your soulmate. You guys do everything. She goes hunting with you if you want her to. She will, whatever it is.
She cannot go hunting
whatever.
or golfing with me.
Whatever. I'm just saying. She's good at shuffleboard.
I don't know. Sex has to be a part of my relationship, though. I mean,
No,
it's not
but I'm
like-
saying you're at an age where that doesn't happen. Like
No.
it's not
I mean,
available.
as far as now, my shit still works.
No, I get that. But would it change it if you were past that point? in your
Past that
life?
point? I don't think so. I think in my head is like sex will always be a part of a relationship that I'm in.
Even if it's just the thought of it, because even though you're past that point, even if it's just
Yeah.
the, if we could,
I think when I'm past that point, at that age, I'm thinking, maybe 70, whatever. I think I would try cock at that time in my life.
like that guy that put the bomb, the World
You
War II
mean
bomb.
try it? You mean try it
No,
again?
but it's a woman though. It's a real woman with woman parts. She just has a huge, clit.
Oh, that's where you would be entertain that kind of relationship.
I was
Okay.
like, this is how you give a blowjob, all right? And
Your friends come over and you're too old to get it up. They just casually talk about, oh yeah, you should see the dick on Sharon, man. She is crazy hung. Telling all your geezer friends.
I don't know, man.
yeah, I mean,
I think that there's a certain point, like when
I wouldn't want to touch. I mean, you're like, can you move that thing? Because I wouldn't want to be touching it when I can't touch. I just can't.
And right there is the same thing I've ever said when even the thought of like two guys and one girl, like if in that situation, like if I even like if it was this finger and I thought it was a penis, I would probably start throwing up immediately.
It would have to be like a tag theme. Like, okay, you go, and then when you get tired, you fucking tag, and I go.
or
We
you
can't-
just
we
do an
can't-
Eiffel Tower. You're on opposite ends, and you're,
No, we can't. No.
Yeah, so you're looking each other in the eye.
no, looking down at what's going on down there.
Why is she moaning more when he's inside of her?
No, I think that there's a certain age that you may reach where it's just okay, whatever.
You know what? Like you never actually get to the point to experience it. So for a long time, you don't necessarily see it, and you grow in love. And then one day you're walking by the shower and you're like, "What's holding that towel up?" You know.
Oh, you're saying that if they still had the dude parts.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about if you didn't have the drive anymore, and then she didn't have the drive anymore, or she whatever. How would you feel?
Yeah, if you guys are both past that point, and then you found out she had man junk.
Oh,
I
would still have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
I bet you would, huh? Hard time.
No,
Hard
not like
times.
that. It would be it would be difficult to.
I mean, I don't think I could touch the thing. I can't.
I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I thought you just meant if two people lost their drive.
No. I mean, if the same
But you're
scenario,
saying
but
if two
where
people lost their
sex-
drive, but you found out that she
sex
had
wasn't a
dingling.
thing, so it wasn't like you were affected by it per
You're
se.
still gonna see each other naked.
I mean, I would have to be physically attracted to her and her body and all, to her face and body, and just knowing.
I
that
mean,
there's
Well,
a
if you
thing.
had watched the movie Real Men, there is a similar scenario in there. If you would have watched
see,
it,
look, I'll put it to you this way: you're still gonna walk around. You're still gonna see each other naked because, well, okay. So when I was in my 20s, a back rub meant something more than a back. Like maybe I could turn this into something, and now it's like, no, I just need a freaking back rub. Or sometimes it'll just be like, I'll forget. I'll go upstairs, take a shower, and I'll forget I said something. Now Tanya is down in the living room, and from our bedroom door, you can see where she's sitting in the living room. And I'll walk out there naked to ask her a question, even though over the front door there's this big window, and anyone who may be walking by could see me
So your
naked.
neighbors hate you.
Don't look in my windows. But here's the thing: so I will just walk around naked from time to time, and it's like whatever. And there's no chance, even if there's no chance. Like, I'm not even trying to get sex out of the deal. I just have to go, oh, yeah, I forget. You're going to see each other naked is my point.
yeah.
So it would never get to this point of, oh, a year went by, we got married 6 months ago, and then, oh, now I see you got a dingling. No, it's not going to get to that. You'll see each other naked before that. So before it gets that serious. So you're staying the night, they're staying the night, because you're still going to want to be physically intimate, just maybe not sexually.
I couldn't. Just knowing that it's there, I couldn't.
Yeah, it would.
Because I'm thinking, I'm visioning this woman, and when she's naked, she's supposed to look a certain way.
To answer your question, it would still be a deal breaker.
It's okay,
yes.
Justin.
I agree.
Justin, you love dick. It's okay. It's okay.
Cheney. I love Dick Cheney.
Hey, he only agreed once me and you said
I
this.
know.
You noticed
No,
that?
I
Yeah.
agree. I couldn't
Hey,
get over
you
it
don't
mentally.
gotta lie to kick it, dude. It's
No,
all right.
dude,
We
get over it
accept you.
mentally.
We
Hey,
accept
be
you for
you.
who you
Just
are.
be you, Justin.
Just be you.
Just
It's
be you.
okay in this
Hey,
today's
go
world.
suck that cock. Go be happy. Be happy, Justin.
Just suck it like a boss. Suck it like the boss bitch you are.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it either. I couldn't do it.
No, he can't. No, he can't do it. All right.
Okay, so last part of this. What if they had made the full transition and you didn't know until after?
But it was, this person was born a man or a woman.
Born a man, now is a
Still
woman.
a deal breaker.
still.
without a maybe
No.
a scar or something there. I don't know what that.
That's right. I'm a homophobe. Still a deal breaker.
See, I mean, yeah, that everything has to be put out there before it got that serious. Now, like, if it came to the time in the relationship where the truth comes out and everything's still cool, then everything's still cool. But just to find out why you're...
When the emotions
In-
start
in-
getting heavy, these are the conversations you're going to have. I have an abnormality.
So based on the
I
conversation
have
earlier,
6 toes on 1 foot. Whatever it may be, you got to, sooner or later, when you're getting
So-
regularly involved,
My
at
shit
emotional
slants to
level.
the right.
based on this
I've got
conversation
a hard right turn.
and what you said earlier,
That's
so
left.
if a guy has a
Harder.
micropene, he should disclose that? Because I think most guys wouldn't. I think
Not
they
on
would,
a first date, no.
I think that they would
No.
wait until they're about and they'd be like, "Oh, I don't want you to be disappointed," and he would try to lead into it without.
I tell the women straight up on our first date
Yeah,
how small my penis is.
I need you to go.
That is
no
actually
preconceived notions.
that is actually a
You see this?
tactic.
You see this pinky? Now imagine half of it.
That is actually a good tactic to use because most men brag about their size and they're not. So if you brag about how small it is, like there's no way I gotta see this.
That's what works for me. And then when they see it, it's not that small.
It's a good size.
They're like,
It's a fun size. It's a fun size.
It's fun size.
It's a fun size.
Like Snickers.
you're like, I'll still be a virgin when you're done with me.
Hey, and they still walk funny after. So.
You're like, you just tell them.
Yeah, that's from
Still
all the
make you
pelvic
talk like this.
bruising.
It's the wrong hole.
No. Again, it's like third, fourth date when things are starting to get emotionally heavy. You have to bring that.
So you
up.
start getting emotionally like all the way in on the third or fourth date.
No, not fully emotionally invested, but you're obviously there for a fourth date for a reason.
You start clicking.
You start clicking. It now. I should probably bring this up. Hey, if this goes more serious than it already is, there's something you need to know.
I have 3 testicles.
I have 2 nipples and 1 areola, whatever it may be. Well, there was a guy at our basic training camp. He's like, no, I'm like, why did they call you triple nipple? And it's exactly, he had 2 nipples on 1 areola. It's like, check this shit out, dude. And I'm like, that's fucked up, man. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just how I was born.
Put your lips on it.
No. No, but it's the same thing when you're in basic training. You do all sorts of stupid shit too. Like, you freaking, I mean, day one, it's 56 swinging dicks taking a freaking shower, dude. And you got to get it all done in 5 minutes, all of you. So, and there is a method to doing that in basic training.
So is that why you joined? You're like, you heard about this and you're like,
no, I didn't expect that on, like, they're all strangers, right? So, and your TIs are just yelling at you, all you motherfuckers better be clean and showered in 5 minutes. And the way you do it is there's a shower bay and there's 5 shower heads down one side, I think 2 on the back wall and 5 down the other, something like that. And you just turn all the shower heads on and you walk down here, you lather across the back and you rinse off, just do a freaking walkthrough. And that's how you
don't have time to think about it.
Everyone showers in 5 minutes. Your head's already shaved, so that doesn't take anything. That's how it is. But again, there's no, I guess, shame. And I mean, it's like a fucking locker room all the time, dude. I mean, you're going to walk around naked and shit. I mean, or you change your freaking underwear in front of 20 other dudes that are standing there bullshit and doing their own thing.
That's hot.
Hey, that's basic training for you. So,
I guess you don't have time to worry about shit like that.
No, you don't. You're trying to freaking make sure the TI doesn't come in and yell at y'all for not being dressed. So you're just getting shit done.
Till your drill sergeant starts calling you tiny dick.
He ain't looking. Now, what's fucked up is, this person, everyone's got like an extra duty around the dorm. Like I was hallway guy, like in the hallways between the 2 bays, I had to make sure that was clean every night. So you like, and so, but the TIs, you have what was called the latrine queen. You did not want that job. The latrine queen had to make sure the bathroom was clean. So the latrine queen made up their own rules and the rest of the flight had to abide by it. Like you only use this stall to take a shit and you use the urinals and then that's it. And not to take a shit, just to go pee. But anyway, so we would all just use one stall. But while we'd be out on an appointment, like smoking cessation class or some stupid shit they're putting you through, marching around, whatever, another TI will come into the dorms and go like third stall down and just blow the fucking thing up. So when the latrine queen did his duties at night, if he didn't check that stall, the TI would come in and be like, what the fuck is this? And so they would plant shit like that, literally. But they would sabotage to try to get you busted all the time. So latrine queen would get his ass handed to him by the frickin', TI, and then, shit like that happened all the time.
Nice.
But yeah, basic training was something else, man. I think it took me almost a whole week to take a shit. Because it's just such a change from your regular life. So
is it true
you're getting yelled at all the time?
You don't get an erection during basic training? You're so stressed out.
Yeah, you don't.
'Cause I hear that.
You don't really think about rubbing
Is that
one
what the guys
out.
told you when you'd hang out with them?
Yeah.
No, by week
It's
three.
like, what's going on?
By week three, I mean, remember, you're in your late teens. I would say I was 18 years old, but you're in your late teens, early 20s when you're going through. So you still have these hormones raging. So then, like, what'll happen is by week 2 or so, the end of week 2, you wake up in the middle of the night with a boner, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna go into the stall," and you just rub one out really freaking quiet, and don't take long, by the way.
With the JC's
So-
Penny catalog.
You don't have a catalog.
the
You're
women
not
of the
allowed.
ball.
You're not allowed any magazines. You can't have magazines. You can't have candy, cigarettes, any of that shit. So, yeah, you would just go in there and pure imagination. You could just rub one out because here you are, hormones raging, and you haven't released in 2 weeks. Come on, it don't take much at that point. So, anyway. I think probably everybody did it. So the first time I took a shit was in church. I mean, not in church, but I went to church, and then it was like, well, they're not going to yell at you at church. So it was like, okay, I can relax enough in a stall to squeeze one out. But it took almost a week. So, because you don't have to worry about, you're sitting there taking a shit, and then a TI comes into the dorm, and then comes into the barracks and freaking comes in the bathroom like, oh, you motherfuckers, get out. Like, you could shit in peace when you're at church. So that was when I took my first shit. But I don't know about now, because I think they have timeout cards and everything. Like, if you're getting yelled at too much, you can just, like,
Yeah.
What?
I heard that about the Air Force now.
I'm not sure it's just the Air Force anymore. I'm sure the Marines don't, but I don't know if the Navy does or the Army does or doesn't, but yeah. I don't know if that's true or what. All we had to carry on us were Form 341s. You had to always have a 341 on you pre-filled out. And a 341 is a form that can, a discrepancy form mostly is what it was used for. So if you fucked up, like you had to hold the handrail going down the stairs, and if you didn't, you got your ass chewed. I mean, I saw people get their ass chewed for taking their handrail off before their last foot hit the ground. I mean, and then they would chew. Like, everything had to be precise. So, I mean, and then they would pull a 341 from them, and it goes in your record of this guy fucked up, whatever.
So it's all soft
But
now.
you can also have a positive 341 where if you did something good, but you didn't get those in basic training. Those got pulled in tech school if you really did something above and beyond. But we never had like timeout cards or, and there was other things like they couldn't say shit about your girlfriend, your mom, or whatever when I was in, but they did because they didn't get in trouble for it. They also couldn't make you do 20 push-ups if you fucked up or something like that, but they did. That was called maltraining, but they did it anyway because they didn't get in trouble for it. So, I mean, whatever. What are you there for? Are you there to be pussified, or are you there to freaking get tougher? So that's how you got to look at it. So it saddens me if that's true that they have, like, you're getting yelled at too much and you just look. You can't do that with the enemy. Hey, you guys are shooting too many bullets. Timeout. Like, come on, man.
That gun's awfully loud. It's scaring me.
I gotta go to my safe space. And no, there was no safe space when I went through. You got your ass handed to you, and a lot of times for no reason. It was just part of it. All you could do is hope you weren't the next victim of that, but someone else in your flight was the victim of it. You just kind of observe the stupid shit people do under pressure, and you laugh about it in your pillow at night because it's funny. A lot of it's funny. And then they'll laugh at themselves when you sit there and go, dude, you even know what you did? He's like, no, man, but he was yelling at me. And it's like, yeah, but this is how you reacted. And then you can get them to laugh about it. But because it is funny, but I don't know. You learn how to get real close with people when you're in basic training. So, because you have to operate as a team. So even the biggest fuck up, you got to help coddle along. It's like, come on, man.
That's what Al and I are doing on this podcast.
No, I know. I've been saying that for a long time now. So,
Private pile.
but yeah, to get off that, I can't believe that if there is something like that.
Makes me think about that movie Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood.
That's an old one.
You know, a lot of those movies with Clint Eastwood in it that weren't spaghetti westerns or pioneer musicals such as Paint Your Wagon or something like that. I didn't really watch a lot of those. In fact, I don't even think I don't think I've seen all the frickin' Dirty Harry movies.
Unforgiven.
If you haven't seen Heartbreak Ridge, you have to watch it.
Yeah, that
he plays
good.
a gunny sergeant, and he's.
Oh, I know the movie you're talking about. No, I don't. I think I've seen bits and pieces.
What
of
was
it,
the guy that played Sonny Spoon? What the hell was his name?
I forget the guy. It's been a while.
If I watched it all the way through, it was because my dad was watching it and I was a kid.
Oh, that movie was fantastic.
But I've seen bits
movie.
and pieces of it. I'll have to watch it again.
Sweet, where they're all that big ass dude. Yeah, I love that movie.
Unforgiven. That was a good one. It put a spin on the.
We watched
the
that
Western.
in the drive-ins, but my dad took us to the drive-in theaters to watch it, but I can't remember what that was about either. All I remember is that in an interview, Clint Eastwood said he had to wait to be a specific age in order to make that movie.
Yeah.
He had it in his mind for a while.
It did not glorify the hero, the cowboy hero, the sheriff. You know, it kind of made it more real. Like, this is, you know, just because you win the gunfight and you're not this hero or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the reality is, you know, people are dead.
I don't know. I'm behind on some Clint Eastwood movies, I guess.
Yeah, the spaghetti westerns are awesome, though.
Yeah, they're all freaking great. I love all of them. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Gran Torino, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's excellent. The Mule was actually not that bad a movie.
The Mule wasn't bad. But there was other ones like Cry Macho I haven't seen.
I started watching it. I haven't watched the whole thing. No.
The Trouble with the Curve or whatever that is. I didn't watch that either. Because when you watch the trailer, it's like, it seems like it's going to be too much of a tearjerker. I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Oh, what is the boxer? The girl boxer.
Oh,
yeah, that one too. I think I did. I think I did watch that one.
I haven't watched that one. Can't.
That was a good drama movie.
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
But Clint Eastwood's made some great flicks. I mean, that's no secret.
Yep.
But anyhow, well, what do you guys want to do? Call it?
I think we should call it.
Another one I'm not uploading.
Actually, this one was good because this talked about your sexual stamina.
So for all you ladies, gentlemen out there, just know that Al has stamina.
That's right.
If you learn anything from this podcast,
let me show you.
All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up with that. Thanks for showing up, guys.
All right, ladies.
Another one in the bag.
Can't wait for the Halloween episode.
If you're interested in any of us and the things we talked about today, you know where to find us.
And just remember, we're always looking for more subscribers. So be sure to tell your friends and your family.
That's
hit
right.
Like, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications for all our latest material and uploads.
And we're giving away Al to one lucky subscriber.
Yeah, first to comment below.
Yep.
All right.
I'm off the market.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Peace.
Good night, Greg.
Are we recording?
Oh, we can't. We haven't even stopped the last one yet.
Damn it.
Welcome back, folks. How did I know which button to hit? Man, I should be running the soundboard from here on. All right. We forgot the countdown.
I wasn't going to do an intro, but we can do an intro. It's fine.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Okay.
1.